Hello there, fellow NPCs. I am Carbon Scythe, and today we're getting back into Everlasting Summer. And we have just started day 2. We gotten to know just about all the girls. There's still one missing, Miku. But we will see her sooner or later. Maybe later today. But yeah, it's day 2. It's in the early morning. We had to take a shower and stuff like that, eat breakfast, and yada 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 yada. And now we're at the lineup, where everyone shows that they're on place on time. And stuff like that. But someone is missing. What? Is somebody not here yet? So we will see what that is all about. Maybe they're late, maybe they're missing. I don't actually remember. So we will see what that's all about. Let's go. What? Is somebody not here yet? Nope. All here. She looked around at her brave pioneer troops. Okay, what the hell was that about then? We came to the kids' square. Okay, nope. I guess nothing. Okay. Alright, go stand somewhere. Weird. Why the hell did she tell me there are no more sleeping places? Oh yeah, this is electronic. Slavia, Lena. Unknown. I have no idea who you are. Uliana and Alyssa. And your hat looks very different from what is in the sprite. While the chief was running her mouth about our plans for the week, I stared at the people. A few heads away from me stood Electronic, a little further, Lena, Slavia, and at the end of the line, Uliana and Alyssa. Everyone I had met was here. Olga Dmitrievna spoke out about some competitions, and I turned my attention to the monument. Genda. I could not remember any revolutionary with a similar name. He had a weird posture too, as if he was looking around with distrust, maybe contempt, or even disdain. Probably some local leader. Daydreaming again? Slavia brought me back to reality. Olga Dmitrievna stood nearby. Still remember the plan for the week? The plan? I will never forget the plan. Perfect. She looked at Slavia. Did you bring it? Yes. Slavia handed me a piece of paper. It's a checklist. Here are 4 tasks to check off. Do it all today. Before you start, sign up for a club. There are some clubs in the clubhouse and a musical club in a separate building. Then visit the infirmary. And finally, visit the library. Got it? Yes. The checklist seemed like a good chance to find out something, since I had to go to places I haven't been before. And come on, start right now. What about lunch? I just had breakfast, but it's noon also. Don't worry, I'll bring you more sandwiches. The checklist is more important. Not more important than food, thank you very much. Good luck. They departed too fast for me to ask anything else. Missed breakfast, now I'll miss lunch too. This ain't good. Maybe I'll manage it in time somehow. Lunch starts at 1 PM. Then again, if I'll go there, I might miss a place from the checklist. Okay, it's too early to go to the canteen anyway. And here we go. So first go to the clubhouse. And there we go, music club. Here's our living quarters, I guess. And here's your living quarters. Kitchen, dining hall, too early. Infirmary, library. Scene, football. Old building. Closest one, island. Long Island. Yeah. But yeah, she said go to the clubhouse first, right? So we'll try that. We're back here, right? I went to the clubhouse. To tell the truth, I never really liked extracurricular activities. At the school, I used to find an excuse to skip extra classes. At university, I had no interest in participating in the student council. I wasn't interested in boxing, aero modeling, or sewing. So I came here just to check off the box. Nobody was there. I found myself in something like a hut of a junior robot enthusiast. There were wires and simple printed circuits scattered everywhere. Chips, and on the table proudly stood an oscillograph. Not sure what an oscillograph is. I have no idea, actually. It measures oscillation? I heard voices from another room, and then 2 pioneers appeared. One was electronic, the other one I didn't know. Hi, Semyon. We've been expecting you. It seems you know everything about everyone. Why were you expecting me? Well, of course, because you came to sign up for a cybernetics clubs, didn't you? He didn't let me answer. And this is Shurik. He is in charge here. I assume there's only the 2 of you in the club? Well, you can say it's 3 now. Shurik came up to me and assertively offered his hand. His face was somewhat familiar. Welcome to the club. Yep. Now, I'll show you around. Make yourself at home. Guys, I just wanted to... We're always welcoming new members. He said it in such a way that the anthem of the Soviet Union suddenly started playing in my head. It's amazing. I even remember the words. In the first grade I had a textbook with the lyrics in the back. I know, I just wanted to sign my checklist. Yep, you sign up to the club and we'll sign your checklist. Really now? He grinned. I was getting ready for a long and boring argument, but then I heard someone enter. I looked back and saw Slavia. Ah, Semyon. I hope they're not giving you any trouble. She narrowed her eyes, looking at the future of the motherland's robotics industry. I know these 2. They can. Well, you know, I actually just need to get my checklist signed. I decided to take advantage of the situation. No problem. Give it to me. Slavia took the paper and marched up to Shurik. Sign it. Hold on, we're not done yet. You're done. Sign it now. Why is she so bossy? She gave Shurik such a threatening look that it made him lose every possible objection. He wrote some squiggles on the checklist. I thanked Slavia, and then moved on in a mellow mood. Okay then. And let's see, it was these 2 as well. And here, we should have Miku. Oh, there she is actually. This is her living quarters. She lives with Lena. And... oh, this is me and Olga. Okay. Is this Slavia and unknown girl? Here's the boys, Shurik and Electronic. And Uliana and Alyssa. What's the point of visiting the infirmary? My health was fine. The fresh local air clearly did me some good. I felt fresher than usual. But I just have to visit it. I entered. A common infirmary, like my school doctor's room. And hello, doctor.
Hello, nurse.
Hello, nurse. A middle-aged woman sat on the table, and she has heterochromia as well. Obviously, she was a nurse. She gazed intently at me, assessing me while continuing to write something. Well, hello, pioneer, said the nurse without being distracted from her work. Good afternoon, ma'am. I have something... Sit down, please. I looked around the room. On the couch. I sat down. Strip. Well! She said all of it with an even tone. What for? To inspect. To auscultate. To check on your health, you know. By the way, my name is Violetta, but you can call me Viola. She turned to me. What are you waiting for? Strip. But I have no health issues. I got this. I neatly gave her the paper. Later. She took the stethoscope off her neck, seeming like she intended to probe me with it. And revealing her cleavage even more. But then someone knocked on the door. The nurse answered unwillingly. "Come in." In a moment the door opened while an electronic rushed inside. "Huh? Oh no, did Alyssa caught up with you?" "Hello, I fell during the football game." "Nonsense, of course, I'm okay, but Olga Dmitrievna..." There was a massive bruise on the electronic's eye. "I doubt that this could be a football injury." "Sit down, I'll have a look," she said to him. "And you, pass me a checklist." The nurse quickly signed it and continued. "If something hurts, come to me immediately. Pioneer." I decided not to answer and went out, closing the door behind me. That nurse is surely something else. A bit of a predator. Or is she in the music club? Because Hatsune Miku is obviously a music buff. Let's check it out. The music club. A small one-level building was located some distance from the other camp buildings. I opened the door and entered without hesitation. There were enough instruments for a whole orchestra here. Drums, guitars, even a piano. I spent some time looking closely at every instrument, wanting to guess the time period they were from, but suddenly I heard a crawling sound coming from underneath the piano. Yup, there she is! A girl. Seems like she was looking for something. She was standing on all fours in such a suggestive pose that I hesitated to speak at first. "Excuse me?" "Ah! Who's there?" Dunk! Urgh! She tried to stand up, but the bottom of the piano prevented her from doing so. "Ouch!" She struggled out. "Sorry I scared you." "It's nothing." "Oh, you got a checklist. You must be new here." Yes. "My name is Miku." "No, really, I'm serious. Nobody believes me, but it's my real name. My mother is Japanese. My dad met her when he was building... Well, it wasn't him who was building. He's an engineer. And he was working on a nuclear power plant there. Or a dam. Or a bridge. Whatever. She was talking so fast she swallowed half the words she tried to pronounce. Thank you, I can use that, because sometimes English is difficult. I'm Semyon. Great, want to be in our club? It's only me here now, but it will be two of us then. Do you play anything? When I became antisocial, I bought a guitar and learned a few chords. But then I forgot about it, since I quit everything that required more than a couple of hours to learn. You know, I wasn't planning to do anything like that really. Oh, it's okay, I'll teach you. Maybe a trumpet, for example. How about a violin? I know it all, honestly. There was no point in arguing with the orchestra girl, since there was only another cascade of words waiting to blast at me. Hey, well, think about it. Can you just sign it for now? Yes, sure, give it to me. Be sure to come around. I sing too. I'll sing you some Japanese folk songs, or maybe if you're not into that, something more contemporary. Sure, thanks. Gotta go now. Of course, come anytime. And she's blushing even. The end of her sentence stayed inside. It might be nice to hang around with a guitar in the evening, but in such company... I turned to leave and came face to face with Alyssa. She eyed me suspiciously. Why did you come? The checklist. Got it signed? Yes. Then move it. Alyssa went inside and I hurried to leave the place. How rude! And now we only have the library left. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. Actually, I love reading, but spending my days in a library under the current circumstances was well beyond my scope. So I better hurry up with this checkpoint. I remember this, but who is here? As I stepped inside, Lena, most likely. As I stepped inside, a memory from my childhood emerged in my head. It was very vivid. I'm 7 or 8 years old. I'm at the library with my mother. While she's looking through the books I might need for my studies, I'm sitting in the corner and looking through the collection of comic books. Back then I didn't know why they had so many, or why couldn't I take some with me. The notion of collective property was something my mind hadn't grasped yet at that age. However, back then the whole concept of property was pretty hazy to me. This memory seemed even stranger now, while I was standing in this particular camp, where they might have managed to build a communism in 3 years. In 3 years make it seem like some kind of reference. I have no idea what it means though. Soviet symbolism was all over the place and the shelves were full of related literature. Of course I wasn't planning to read any of these. Getting acquainted with a full collection of books by Marx was the last thing on earth I would think of. Where's the librarian? I didn't spend much time looking for her. I don't know, it's the unknown girl, because I don't know who you are. I looked closely. Short hair, thick glasses, rather cute face. She was snoring so peacefully, I couldn't just wake her up. I can wait. If she doesn't wake up in half an hour, maybe then... I couldn't just sit there, so I took a random book from the nearest bookshelf. Arthur Schopenhauer, The World's Will and Representation. I opened it roughly in the middle and started reading. Oh Lord, this is gonna be annoying. The life of man, with its endless upkeep, wants and suffering, is to be regarded as the explanation and paraphrase of the procreative act, i.e. the absolute claim of the will to live. And furthermore, it is also the reason the man owes nature his death, and thinks with anxiety of this debt. Is this not evidence that our existence involves guilt? At any rate, we always exist, from time to time paying with the death for our birth. We always exist and alternatively bear all the joy and sorrow of life, since neither of both can pass us without some effect. That is the result of our stated will to live. That is in Russian, and I have no translation for it. This attraction itself may be seen objectively as the mutual longing glances of two lovers. They are the purest expression of the will to live in its affirmation. How gentle and tender it is. It wants happiness and quiet pleasure, and mild joys for itself, for others, for all. Someone knocked on the door. Thank you. I closed the book quickly and put it back in its place. What a nice habit. Knocking on the door. I should pick it up. It was Lena. Oh. Hi. I smiled. I just wanted to return a book. She had a copy of Gone with the Wind that I saw yesterday. Oh, Senya is sleeping. I'll come back later. I'm awake. Oh, I remember her now. I remember her this dance. I have no idea who you are, but I remember you now. I turned around in surprise to look at her. She eyed me closely from behind her table. What is it you wanted? I need you to check here. Give it here. She quickly signed the paper and gave it back to me. She had this look on her face that made me want to keep quiet. Then I came up to her to return her their book. I thanked Senya and went out. Finally, I got all the signatures. Now I had to go back to Olga Dmitrievna and give it to her. She was sitting in front of her cabin, reading a book. Doesn't look like a good role model for the perfect pioneer that she was planning to turn me into. I wonder if her responsibilities extended beyond giving fiery speeches at the lineup, scolding Uliana, and getting involved into my moral, physical, and ideological growth. Here. I offered her my checklist. She placed it in her pocket without even looking at the signatures. Great, I could have signed it myself without going anywhere. Perfect. So, did you meet our nurse? Yes. For some reason, her question sent shivers down my spine. Which club have you signed up for? I didn't. I need to think first. That's a pity. It's vital for you to sign in somewhere tomorrow. Of course. Sure. Right. It's time to go to dinner. About time. I was getting hungry. I headed to the canteen together with Olga Dmitrievna. I looked at the sky and noticed that the sun was already setting. Are they in Sweden? Why is it setting already? On the porch stood Alyssa, Electronic, Juliana, and Slavia. Why is everyone so surprised to see me? As we came up, I heard what they were talking about. And never call me Dwachi again, or you'll get another one. Ah, they're fighting against each other. I didn't call you that, you're hearing things. It did, I heard it all. You weren't even there. I was in the bushes. Come on, you guys, stop it. So it wasn't a football injury Electronic suffered earlier today. Nurse did a good job. I couldn't even see his black eye. Olga Dmitrievna came up to them and asked about the ruckus. What happened? Alyssa and Shizikov. I didn't do anything. She shrugged with her antipathy, and went inside. Right, dinner time. I entered last. There weren't too many free seats. There were a few free chairs near Alyssa across the canteen, but I'd sooner starve for a week or two than risk my head near her. There was also a seat near Juliana, but I'm not into traditional Chinese whatever crawls cuisine. Finally, a free chair near Miku. Looks like I'll have to pick my poison. You mind if I sit here? Oh yeah, sure. No, I don't mind. Yes, you can sit here. I sat down. Look, it's buckwheat today. Do you like buckwheat? And chicken. I don't like chicken. Well, not that I don't like it. But if you'd ask me what would you prefer? Say stroganoff beef or ragu? No, maybe just a hamburger. Or a rump steak. Do you like rump steak? I'm not that picky about my food. And that's the simple truth. 48 kopecks Leningradsko. Ice cream brands popular in late Soviet Union. Gotcha. Oh, is that so? But the desserts, they aren't really good here. I like ice cream. Do you like ice cream? I love 48 kopecks and Leningradsko. Oh, sorry, I keep talking about myself. Maybe you like Eskimo better. Dinner was starting to get on my nerves, thanks to such company. And I'm not the kind of person that just ignores someone who's talking to them. Even her. We're at the same table after all. I once bought a waffle cone and started eating, and then you know what? I found a screw there. A real screw. Can you imagine that? Or was it a bolt? I don't really know. Screws are those that you tighten with screwdrivers, and bolts are those that you turn with a wrench, yes? If there was a speed eating contest going on, I would probably be in the top 3 winners by now. Right, I'll be going. Enjoy your meal. I got up and headed outside. Miki was saying something, but her words are drowned by the crowd of loudly dining pioneers. I went out and sat on the stairs, waiting for my dinner to settle down a bit. I just sat there and watched the night falling. Everything is so lively here during the day. Kids laughing and yelling happily, fooling and running around, constant chatter, games going on, and swimming at the beach. But after the dark, the camp changes entirely. The sound of the day was swapped for silence, only now and then broken by crickets chirping or a night bird. The camp was going to sleep. In every shadow you could see things, maybe a ghost, or a spirit of the forest, or a wild animal. A human being would be the last thing to expect. That is how it looked last night. And now. The locals followed their routine very strictly. In the day, the camp was theirs. In the night, it belonged more to the forces of nature than to humans. Someone touched my shoulder. I looked back. It was Electronic. Let's go play cards. Cards? Yep, I invented a new game. A good one. Good. Like how? Well, first we gotta find the cards. Then I'll tell you. Then go find them. What's the problem? Only Olga Dmitrievna has them and she won't give them to me. Why so? Well, the last time when Olga Dmitrievna and Slavia came out onto the porch. Olga Dmitrievna, Semyon just wanted to ask you about the possibility of getting playing cards. Actually, for what purpose? We invented a new game. Not we. You did. What game? I need the cards to show you. I don't like this. But if Semyon is with you, then perhaps it's okay. To be really honest, we'll go fetch them together, Olga Dmitrievna. Go get the cards with Slavia, go alone. Oh, Slavia is telling Olga that she is going with me. Okay, I see. That's why I was confused. Go alone. We can flirt in the next run. I'll go get them. Fine. They're in my cabin, in the desk drawer. I headed to Olga Dmitrievna's place. Why did I agree anyway? Then again, what choice did I have? There's nothing to do here at night. At least I'll have some fun. But my mind kept nagging me about this not being a good time for having fun. On the other hand, if there's actually exists a camp with pioneers, then it must be someone's doing. And even if it's not true, then the most logical thing is to seek answers here, not in the forests or fields. But at this very moment, the answer is going to play cards. I opened the door with my own key and went inside. To my surprise, there were no cards inside. Instead, it was full of cups, forks and knives, plates, scar-shaped scissors, rubber gloves, a piece of rope, a few plastic bags, pencil, and a few broken pens. Everything except the playing cards. Maybe I should look in the closet. It was full of Olga Dmitrievna's clothes, but a small drawer with a keyhole at the top caught my eye. I pulled, but it didn't open. I wonder if she's hiding something. Forcing it open wasn't the best idea, even if the cards were in there. When I got back, Olga Dmitrievna informed me. Sorry, I remember the cards that were in Slavia's cabin. How do you make that mistake? Both of you. She fetched them while you were looking. I looked at Slavia. She meekly smiled. Come on, guys. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Slavia and Olga Dmitrievna went inside. I was going to follow, but someone grabbed my hand. Alyssa. Her gaze sent a shiver down my spine. Not a nice one. You want something? I asked carefully. You're going to play this stupid game? Yes. Something wrong with that? Nope, nothing. She was turning to leave, but then slowly looked back and smiled. So you play cards? A little. I couldn't figure out what she wanted. Durak, card game popular in USSR, similar to President. But is that when you throw all the cards? No, I don't think so. So only Durak, and that's it? As if you're a poker star. Well, yes, technically. Then you don't have a chance. Why? Because. So you know the rules? Of course. Well, then you'll have the upper hand. I couldn't see why would we go on talking and motion towards the door. Why do you keep trying to leave? Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. What do you mean? You're such a slowpoke. The cards, what else? And what do you want to bet on? That I'll win. That's quite a possible outcome. I agreed calmly. So, are you afraid? No, I'm not. I'm not big on bets when I don't like my chances. And you're not big on taking risks too. Such an astute observation. I'm impressed. Right, then No, you're not. Now what? I sighed in exhaustion. She was starting to annoy me with her rubbish talk about some pointless bet. If you don't bet with me, I'll tell everyone that you tried to seduce me. What? You heard me. I could imagine her doing this. Don't be stupid. Who's gonna believe you? I've been here less than 2 days. Besides, wanna try your luck? Right. And what will happen if I win? I won't tell anyone anything. And if I lose? Slowpoke mode again? I'll tell everyone you tried to seduce me. I told you already. So you're telling me now that I have to work to prove that I didn't do something when I didn't actually do it. If that's how you want to look at it. Not a simple decision. On the one hand, it was stupid to agree. I didn't know the rules in gambling wasn't my thing. On the other hand, she could really make my life hell. Then again, can I even trust her? She can do it even if I win. So, have you made a decision? I was going to answer, but suddenly Lena came around me from behind. What? Nothing! Lena hurried inside. So? Do not. No, this can actually be fun. Because I know how the game is gonna work. And I will play that as it's supposed to be done and no cheating. So we'll see how this goes. I may regret it 100 times. Fine, I'll do it. She smiled. But if I win? Yeah, all fair, no cheating. Alyssa turned, went up the stairs and inside the canteen. Why am I doing this? Because she can set me up regardless if she wants to? Since she decided to anyway? I let out a heavy sigh and followed her through the door. Inside everything was ready. A few pioneers stood here and there, chatting. The tables were moved out of the way to make room for players and spectators. I looked around. Something was going on in the far corner. When I came closer, I saw a large piece of paper with a diagram drawn on it. Yeah, this is the tournament. My name was amongst the players, and I'm fighting off against Lena first, and then against Uliana or Shurik, and then against one of these fours. And it's probably gonna be Alyssa who's fighting in the finale. So we'll see if she's that good. And who came up with all this? A padded electronic who was standing near. Well, of course it was your most humble servant. He bowed to me jokingly. This made me uncomfortable to the point of squirming. And why in the world am I among the players then? I was disappointed. A few seconds ago I thought I'd still had a slim chance to evade this tournament. Then I wouldn't have to fear Alyssa's revenge for losing the bet with her. Yeah, why isn't the electronic on this tournament sheet? But now, that hope was gone. It was pure coincidence. Yeah, right, coincidence. Except that I was already acquainted with every one of the contestants. While there were a few dozen other pioneers standing in the room. I was seized by anxiety. It's the feeling of being watched while standing in an empty room with no windows or doors. Will there be a prize? I asked him lazily. I wanted to distract myself with a pointless conversation. Electronic was just about to answer when Uliana came out of nowhere and started jumping around him. Prizes! Prizes! I heard something about prizes! It's not the winning but the taking part that counts. Do you know what is the main ethos of the Olympic Games? What? No? You'll understand when you grow up. She made a wry face and jabbed the electronic in the ribs. So, what about the price? Well, I don't know. It's not up to me. He made a helpless gesture. Really? If they came up with this stupid game, at least they could give me the winner a chocolate medal or something. Uliana suddenly jumped and raced off to somewhere. I wish I was that optimistic. So, what about the rules? Wait a bit. Not everyone is here yet. I looked around canteen. Alicia, Slavia, Lena, Miku, and Shurik were here. And so am I, so it's only 2 more. It seems like everyone is here. Not everyone. Senya isn't here. Does he feel uneasy, or is it just me? She's not here, so what? Pick someone else instead. No, I can't do that. He answered slowly. I decided not to ask exactly why he can't do this. Well, go fetch her or something. I don't know. He can't go. He is the host of the event. The camp leader appeared as if from nowhere. But Olga Dmitrievna, Electronic whined. Semyon will go. Right, Semyon? She looked at me and smiled. Of course. Who else? Where is she? In the library, I guess. Okay. I dragged my feet towards the door. Please hurry. What's Electronic's problem anyway? Night is coming soon. I was going to take my time, so I slowly paced towards the library. But I found Senya before I even expected. She was sitting on a bench at the square, staring at Genda, who was silent as always. What are you doing here? Everyone is looking for you. Sitting here, as you can see. She frowned. Well, let's go. I don't want to. She looked away. Why not? I don't want to. I sat beside her. Listen, I don't like the idea of this contest myself, but we can't let everyone down. I surely didn't sound like myself there. Yeah, because he's been complaining and bitching this entire time, and yet he's still playing along. Yeah, it's kind of weird, and I don't want to say what it's like, because that could be a spoiler, potentially. A couple of days ago, I wouldn't even think of saying something like that. Senya looked at me with surprise on her face. So, everyone is waiting for me? Isn't that exactly what I said? Yes. I won't go anyway. She frowned and hid her face. But why? I gestured with my arms, wondering. I don't know how to play cards. So what? Same problem here. Then how can you play? What? You can only do things that you read about in books or something? Of course. She was surprised. And what if you end up in Antarctica and have to rely on hunting polar bears to survive? Polar bears don't live in Antarctica. Senya smiled. Doesn't matter, it's just an example. Come on, it's not like someone's life depends on the result. She took her time to think. I just don't want to let anyone down. Right. I agreed sarcastically. Don't you think anything fun about that? I didn't get what she meant, but anyway. Obviously everyone has their weak spots. In a minute we both were back at the canteen. Everyone looked at Electronic. So, he cleared his throat. Each round consists of 1 game. In case of a draw, you replay the game. After this, the loser drops out and the next round begins. Since the number of volunteers, he looked at me, since the number of players is just 8, we'll have only 3 rounds. Is everything clear? The crowd cheered. Wow! And what about the prizes? The prizes, what are they? Uliana cut it out. Slavia stepped forward and tried to catch Juliana. I won't rest until the prize is mine. Seemed like this girl alone had enough energy to warp jump out to Alpha Centauri. Prizes, prizes, she repeated over and over. Stop it! Slavia tried to reason with her. Electronics seemed to be getting dizzy from all the running around. Let's start already, I said calmly and added to Liana, or you won't get any prizes. Looks like my argument got through to her, so she took her place. Slavia followed her, giving me a grateful smile as she passed. The pioneers finally settled down. I approached the table that Lena sat behind. You don't mind? She looked up and blushed. Don't worry, I don't know the rules myself. And how can I be sure that it's not only myself? I don't know what they mean by that sentence. I sat down. Turns out we'll have to play the first round together. Yes. Finally, Electronics started to explain the rules. Play the tutorial. Because I don't remember the game. Look at the cards carefully. There are exactly 6 of them in front of you. I hope everyone here knows how to count. Now, you can look at them. Oh, right, they actually made their own deck of cards. After everyone had looked at their cards, Electronic moved on. The rules here are similar to poker. Too bad he's in the way. I hope everyone knows how to play. I know the rules, but I wasn't so sure about the others. First of all, it's the top card, then 1 pair, then 2 pairs, then 3 of a kind, and so on. No flushes or straights though. In the first round you choose a card which you would like to take from your opponent. In turn your opponent can choose to swap 2 of his cards around twice. Or he can choose not to do so if he doesn't need the card which you are taking. Take a note here that your opponent can see which cards are trading places. In the next step, your opponent takes a card he chooses. And so on. I think it's pretty clear. So we're trading cards between each other, trying to get the biggest hand. It wasn't too clear to me. Hey you, Einstein! Liliana yelled at him from her table. I didn't get a thing! You'll figure that out as we go. Here we go. This is the thumbnail. And what the hell is going on here? That's scary. And here she is. Well, I guess this is her too. But yeah, here she is. She's a secret. I'll say that much. Electronics went to the table with a diagram, leaving Juliana to smolder in solitude. Oh, yeah, also here. You go first. I hoped I could get my hand around the game fast enough. Lena, more perplexed than usual, reached out for my cards. In the middle of the table, her hand stopped. Will you? Oh yeah, I should be protecting my cards. What was it Electronics said? Try to confuse my opponent, I can swap 2 of my cards. Twice. Or I can choose not to. Should I protect it or not? Okay, so she is taking this card, I guess. By the way, I can also agree and give her the card she chooses straight away. Otherwise, Lena can change her mind and take another card if she wants to. Or she might not. Do I do anything? I'm giving you a 2. Let's try that. Oh, okay, so she can change her mind. Okay. Things were becoming clear. Or at least comprehensible. I don't know what that was, I forgot. Now it's my turn. I can take back my card from her, or I can choose another one. I don't remember what that was, so I'm not gonna guess on that. But right now I have a pair of 2s. So let's try this one. Lena can try and protect her card, but if I watch her closely, I can take a card I chose regardless of her movements. Okay, so I said I wanted this card from the beginning. Let's see if that is... Let's take that. And now we're getting back the card I started with, so I'm taking that card anyway. A 5? I don't need a 5. I made it! Electronic, who was silently watching our game, nodded in approval. Looks like now we're getting somewhere. Now, during the round, opponents trade cards 3 times. Keep an eye on each other. Penetrate your opponents with your eyes. I chuckled. Penetrate. What's so funny? Oh, never mind. I tried to keep a straight face. He stared at me for a moment, then moved on. And then we turned the cards up to see whose hand is better. Electronic went back to his diagram. Oh, right, because I have already played this game once before. But no, we're playing the tournament. I win 2 pairs, and she had knight, 10, 10, 7. Ooh, didn't I have a... No, she took a 7 from me, I think. 6 and 4. She had 1 pair, and I had 2 pairs. So that was a close one. I won. Seriously, it's hard to play a game that was made up on the spot, and not by yourself either. But I won. Although, the moment of glory was tainted by the fact that I was... that it was Lena who was the loser. She's not very confident in general, but now she's lost. I'm too embarrassed to even look at her now. Probably I should have lost to boost her self-esteem. But I have a bet with Alyssa. Meanwhile, Electronic proudly announced that the first round is over. Now I'm going against Uliana. And holy crap! Senya made the first round. And she didn't know how to play the game. A list of those who made it into the second round appeared on the scheme after a little while. Semi-final pairs consist of Alyssa versus Senya and Uliana versus me. A doomed sigh escaped me. Uliana immediately took a seat in front of me. Ha! She glared at me, grinning. How did you manage to outplay Alina? Cheated, perhaps? I'm not you. I just know how to play cards. At least that's what I wanted to believe. And how could you outplay Shurik? Ah! Uliana waved her hand, showing how easy it was. I threatened to join his club. She grinned yet again. Would you hold back too? Not a chance. Then I choose which card I give to you myself. Did you hear the rules? Yeah, screw them. It looked like she really didn't care. Okay, but I choose the cards to give to you too. Deal! Inspired by my victory in the first round, I ventured upon this dangerous move. I could have argued, appealed to Electronic, and eventually had my own way, but somehow I felt truly confident in the outcome of this round. Yes, we were breaking the rules, but I was in the same boat as Uliana. I looked up at Electronic. It's time to begin the semifinals, he commanded. I carefully checked my cards, ensuring that Uliana couldn't see them. 6, Ace, 9, 4, Queen, 8. Okay. Yeah, sure. Oh, right, I'm giving her a card. So I'm giving you my tiny little 4 here. Damn it, so close. But at least I got 1 pair and she had nothing. Oh, goddamn, she had 3 5s. She could have won that so easily. What the hell? This AI is dumb. Dumb. Look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6. No 7, 8. But yeah, this game didn't have flashes or flushes. Hey, this isn't fair! You should have held back and lost. She angrily puffed up her cheeks, making her resemble Humpty Dumpty. Let's have a rematch, but this time you have to hold back, got it? It wasn't only me who heard her, but the entire room. Even electronic. No rematches allowed. Juliana completely ignored him. You have to lose! I don't have the slightest intention of playing with you for a second time. No, especially if you give me the winning hand, because you had a great hand, I said calmly. Fine, you want it that way? Yes, that way. Then I'll put the word out that you sexually harassed Alyssa. She whispered. What? I leaned over the table and gave her a menacing glare. So you've been eavesdropping. I just heard it while passing by. Anyway, it's much better to play an extra round than... She can certainly do that. I sighed and appealed to electronic. I understand those sentences. Not a problem. We'll have a quick rematch. Whatever. He shrugged. So the rematch has started. Oh, what's this? What does this say? And I win again. 2-2, 4-5-10, knight. And I have 2 pairs. Easy peasy. I said it and reclined on my seat. That's not fair! I hope you won't demand another rematch. How come? I chuckled. Okay, said Juliana aggrievedly and got up from the table. I studied the tournament scheme closely, trying to understand who's going to be my final rival. At the same moment, Alyssa took place at my table. I pulled a dumb, faint smile. Like I'm afraid of her. Congratulations. Expecting to win? I'm expecting that you'll keep your promise. Okay, let's roll. But I win again, hell yeah. And what did she have? 2, 3, 5, 9, 10, queen. She didn't have anything. She should have kept those kings. Hey, hey, hey. And I win. Hooray! I won! That'll let Alyssa know who rules the roost here. That means that betting with her wasn't a waste. Now, the only thing left is to hope that she will not spread that false gossip because of her loss. Suddenly, I got to decide to celebrate my own victory and have a dip at the beach. To tell the truth, I do not really know how to swim, but the possibility of diving into the pool, into the cool water under the moonlight, seemed attractive. After all, I spent the whole day of yesterday in my winter clothes, and surely you could nicely wring the sweat out of me. In the evening, no one should be here, so I took off all of my clothes except my underpants and entered the water. If I only knew, I would have taken my swim trunks along. Usually, it was enough for me to swim for 15-20 meters, but this time the euphoria of my victory spurred me on to break this record. I swam slowly and tactfully, watching every movement of my arms and legs and keeping my breath steady. All of a sudden, wham! A strike on my back sent me underwater. I started to drown but managed to force myself to jump out and grab the nearby buoy. Whee! I turned and saw Alyssa swimming after me. What the hell are you doing? What am I doing? Hailing the winner! And what if I started drowning? Well, I'd save you. Of course. It was just too dangerous to stay here. She could easily sink me again. I gathered all my strength and swam to the shore. I slowly started to catch my breath. Beach sand stuck to my body from head to toe. After some time, Alyssa came out of the water. You know, you swim well. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, you too. Well, wasn't that obvious? I said nothing. You won twice against me today. That means I will forget 2 of your debts. What kind of debts is she talking about? It looks like Alyssa has a problem with evaluating reality. Thanks a lot, I said sarcastically. You know, you're not as much of a loser as I thought. Well, this is quite the CG. A pretty picture, alright. Alyssa was wearing a swimsuit that perfectly emphasized the beauty of her figure. Well, taking into account all the flaws in her personality, at least this advantage of hers couldn't be taken away. Since when did I become a loser? She smiled cunningly. What's wrong? Aren't you one? Of course not. And how will you prove it? I don't have to prove anything. Oh, so is that it? She said without any anger. Yes, that's it. The silence was expected. A light wind gently played with the waves, sending them to the shore and taking them back after. Alyssa was still looking through me as if it seemed she completely forgot about my presence. Hey, off to Alyssa. Her lost look immediately switched back to her normal one. Anyway, bye-bye. She picked up her clothes lying nearby and left. It was late, but I decided to spend a little more time lying on my back and stargazing. But that stargazing is something we will save for the next episode. I have been playing for over an hour for this episode, and I was not expecting that. That is too long. But I managed to get that poker win. We're calling it poker. It was a fun little game. I did not expect to win, actually. Because the first time I played, I failed horribly, honestly. But yeah, I managed to figure it out. I'm better at board games nowadays. So there, yeah, that's it. And I did befriend Alyssa a little bit right now, but it's not enough to get onto the Alyssa path. I don't think so. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And thank you, Josef, for donating directly to my Ko-fi page. If you guys want to help me out, you can do so by clicking the link down in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one, and remember, just because you're not the main character, it does not mean you're not important. Goodbye, everyone.